Consider the impact that technology continues to play on the vital role in helping businesses overcome many common challenges. And then let's focus on one singular industry that just may surprise you. It's the insurance industry and its leading company. Imagine, in today's digital economy, the demand to find and keep top-notch producers, connect agencies and carriers, as well as streamline and automate processes for the marketing leading provider. The one company that serves 20,000 customers in the insurance industry, more than anyone else, and administer, process, and store the policies of more than half the businesses in the United States, as well as approximately 40% of all personal lines policies. Greetings, everyone. It's Friday, October 10, 2014, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. It's a Tech Talk squarely focused on the impact of rapidly changing technology on the insurance industry. We gain insights from the market leader, Vertafore, and how this innovative company is extending its lead by providing integrated technology, including mobile applications for agency management systems, benefit solutions, carrier connections, compliance and licensing systems, as well as electronic publishing. Up to the Tech Talk, Vertafore Vice President Development Neil Snowdon, an experienced leader of successful multinational development and professional services teams on U.S. and international projects. Neil has a high level of experience in establishing and maintaining strong business relationships and restoring profitability. Skilled at implementing processes and repeatability to support business goals and customer satisfaction, Neil is a thought leader and a driving energy for this market-leading provider of SaaS and on-premise solutions. It's the insurance industry, insights acquired from over 40 years of one company helping insurance harness the power of software solutions. Solutions to stay ahead of the competition and stay profitable. As we speak with Vertafore Vice President Development Neil Snowdon. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Neil, welcome to Tech Talk.
Good afternoon, Frank, and thank you.
Well, I think to a lot of our listeners, a lot of TAG members, they'll certainly agree that it's no secret that technology continues to play, as in every vertical, especially in the insurance distribution, a critical role as far as overcoming a lot of the common challenges. Why don't we talk a little bit about Vertafore and its vertical and pretty much the kind of services and the kind of solution that you guys provide.
Okay. Vertafore has been in the insurance industry now for over 40 years. And we're very much providing innovative software solutions across the whole spectrum. So three main elements, the agencies, carriers, and the wholesalers, also known as the MGAs. Today we serve over 20,000 direct customers in these markets, and that represents 2 million businesses. That in total is around 4 billion of policies written.
Go ahead. I was just amazed. That's great figures.
It certainly is. And obviously what we try and do is, with the innovation, it's all about we want our clients themselves to focus on their time with their clients and not to worry about the back office functions. So everything, the goal is to have it all hosted, very much ease of access, and allowing them to as I say, work within their client realm and deliver quality services into the individuals and businesses that they serve.
So it's connecting agencies and the carriers and then streamlining the entire automation process.
That's exactly right. We have literally over 30 products, and a number of them are associated with keeping track of all the clients, making sure that all the items are moved through the workflows, and then the actions that get entered into the accounting systems. Obviously, we all see as end users, we get the policy back and written, and you get the invoices and the bills. All elements of that insurance process is handled on one of our 30 products.
Well, as you say, it leaves them to focus on their core business because, by and large, with that group of services and that kind of backup, you're able to provide them not only to remain competitive, but I'm sure to stay profitable.
So It just crackled a little bit. Can we? I just didn't hear that final part.
I was saying that not only did it, are you providing performance that allows them to be competitive, it truly allows them to stay profitable.
That's true. It really does allow us to very much allow them to make their profits and focus on their business. And what we've seen is over the time, the number of the organizations working with each other, there's a lot of collaboration now that goes on. And some of our products, it's all around that interconnectivity and allowing a seamless transaction between one system and another.
Well, and of course, with fintech and with the payment situation accelerating at such a tremendous pace, obviously the insurance industry has got to remain competitive. And that actually brings up my next question, and that would be when I think a lot of people, if not the industry itself, sees you as a leading provider of these connected technologies and information services and solutions for the industry. Do you have any competitors?
We have, in each of the markets, we will see different competitors at different sort of times. So some are smaller, some are obviously a little bit sort of larger than the tiny ones we come across. But there is no one that is really there on our scale and with our diversity of products. As I say, with over 30 products, then we really are the largest one in the industry. Other companies will have 5 or 6 products, but no one has the breadth that we've maintained over the years.
Well, I guess with that kind of situation going on, you guys could be located just about anywhere you wanted to. Why Atlanta? And I guess, does Atlanta really benefit you as far as being based here, especially in the case of such a rapidly growing company and such a competitive industry?
Yeah, our headquarters for the business is physically over in Seattle, and we have 12 other offices, with Atlanta being one of our top 3. The reason, though, we chose Atlanta is it really is a sort of terrific access to sort of the high-tech talent base. So over the years, we've had interns join our organization during the summer and then join us full-time, and they're from Georgia Tech, Georgia State, obviously Southern Poly University, and Auburn. And so we got terrific sort of feeds in from those organizations. Also, as you're aware, the insurance corridor goes from really Boston up in the northeast all the way through Florida. A lot of our majority of our clients in the larger sector are in the sort of strip on the East Coast down. And so, therefore, ease of access to our clients from here is really important to us. And then recently what we've seen is the trends in other cities where there's obviously huge fights going on within Silicon Valley, Seattle, Boston, other high-tech centers. There's low attrition within the Atlanta office and a number of our other offices in East Lansing and Windsor compared with some of the West Coast technology companies. I also have to say the weather definitely helps, along with an attractive cost of living. So all of those elements together really come to mind when we look at the benefits of Atlanta. But then recently I've started seeing through our TAG sort of contacts and with other sort of partners here in Atlanta, there's a big investment occurring around big data, mobile, and lots of incubator innovation centers starting up. And that helps us as we look to make even more innovative changes within our portfolio.
Well, when you talk about talent pool, you commented a little bit about that. Are you experiencing changes in the way you're building that out?
We certainly are. So one of the things we've seen as we've sort of built out our talent pool is really we've taken on and starting to ramp this up a little bit more over the next few months is with initiatives like the Year Up program here in Atlanta. We started it with our head office over in Seattle. But what we found is went to a breakfast meeting recently and heard a number of the Year Up students that they seem to start off in a support role, and they've then helped with some other companies on testing products. And it's really been a great way to introduce some guys that are really committed to wanting to have a second chance and getting themselves on an early rung of a new career. And so we see that level of training that's being provided to them from the Year Up program, and the fact they're just so committed to making a go of it. As I say, we're very much aligned with that program, along with continuing our intern program with the big universities here. So traditionally, I think we found that insurance probably wasn't the shining star that had them all attracted. But recently, a lot of the interns now realize there's some really creative things being built in the insurance industry. And they see it as a great career for themselves. So we've had a number of them that joined us earlier years, and they helped promote the company to their colleagues and peers, and we've found it even easier to hire over the last few months.
That's really exciting and tremendously, there's a lot of adulation that comes out of not only the performance of providing a great solution to your clients, but I think anyone that knows Vertafore knows of the unique culture of the company. Maybe for some of our listeners that are not necessarily aware of that, how do you feel like, or how would you describe that culture?
Yeah, one of the unique things about our culture is we really do sort of encourage from day one that we can see that you have to have everyone aware of each other's jobs. So we actually have a boot camp program that engenders these interdependencies between our developers, the QA team members, salespeople, support, professional services, all the main functions. And by having a sort of a boot camp approach, what that has allowed us to do is, as people then in their careers sort of want to take on new challenges, we actively encourage them to move across functional areas. And some of our best salespeople and account managers all started in technical roles. And you can see the clients really do love that they can be talking to someone on a sales level that really understands how the product is built, and more importantly, how it's then delivered and supported. So that's some of the parts. We also very much have it in our DNA that insurance is at the heart of what we all love. And our CEO, Alex Lintner, joined us from Intuit Financial Services Company. But Alex, his father was very much an insurance agent. And so again, that's brought the innovation that he learned obviously from Silicon Valley and merging that with seeing a family where the business for the family was all about dealing with insurance claims, the process of getting new customers, maintaining them over the years. So there's a number of programs, again, in our culture that we want to encourage more of where, again, a unique one is called care engineering. And that's where all of us, no matter what your role is in development, we go and spend time on the support desk. And we get to hear where the problems are, what the clients maybe don't like about certain aspect of the product. And again, that's really helped us focus in on what's important to the clients and making sure that the developers who are normally a little bit more remote from the direct clients really get that first-hand experience. And then the final part of the care engineering program is not only do they get to experience the calls directly, each of them will go one trip a year physically to a client location and look at how the operation works in practice, spend time with the users, and really get a good feel for what we can do to improve through new technology or innovation. So again, a number of that has been successful with some Silicon Valley companies, and that's where sort of Alex has helped to sort of bring a similar program into place within Vertafore.
Well, Neil, we're quickly running out of time, but anyone that has ever heard you speak or draw an analogy about the innovative software companies, I think we'd be remiss in not asking you to share that with our Tech Talk audience, and that is, what, from your perspective, are the analogies that you see between, say, sport and innovative software companies?
A couple that come to mind is one that's very personal to myself and also to Tino, the president of TAG, is running. That's my big passion. And when I first started running, I never actually felt I could ever achieve a 26-mile marathon in just over 4 hours. To me, running for 4 hours seemed like an impossible goal. But what I found was if you have the right sort of commitment, and that you really set about to go and train yourself, and really then sort of just following that program and making sure that with your team you want to do the best you can, then to me that was where running sort of made me realize that anything is achievable, no matter how far-fetched you thought it was at the outset. And so if you relate that back to insurance and to technology, I know when I first was growing up and sort of looked at the technology that was around, to me the wristwatch was one that it just looked like a timekeeping device. But as a kid and watching these science fiction movies, I started to see, oh wow, that could be a communicator device. And you'd see people pressing buttons and talking on their watches. And here we are sort of a number of years later where all of a sudden that's a reality for Apple and Samsung and many other technology companies. So that was one example. But also probably what I started to realize was unless you actually try and maybe sometimes have small failures, that really is, they're the telling examples that make you want to try harder. And I think all the great leaders, whether it's Steve Jobs or Richard Branson, all had their early knockbacks and really did have to sort of learn from that, and that made them better leaders and innovators in their industry. So today they're two that I always feel went a huge way after having some initial sort of challenges in their early careers.
Great wisdom, good philosophy, certainly to strive by the challenges of running, but also the whole idea about it's not how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. That separates the winners from the people on the sidelines for sure. Vertafore is an example of that. You're an example of that. Thank you so much for the time that you've given us today on Tech Talk and for the great and innovative things that you and the company are doing. Hats off. Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you, Frank.